Hi, everybody. We are design and project delivery for Jakarta and Nusantara. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So just getting into the phase of design for architecture, really starting off with programming. Programming can be defined as research and design making progress that helps identify the scope of work to be designed and performed. So basically just what this means is like this is the first phase of a project. Basically, it's just researching, really just trying to understand the project and the end goals. Some of the advantages for this is just, all parties are involved in this, the owner, the architect, the construction manager, they can all be a part of this process and just understanding the project and trying to work towards an end goal and to where they all understand what is supposed to come at the end. Really, it's just research and trying to understand the project. So getting to the next one, the schematic design. This is the initial design project or design phase. It's really just having a conversation with the owner and trying to understand what his needs and wants are. It's just basic size, shape, style of building, early design sketching, concept design, single line rough model making. Really, just the early stages of design. Nothing is nailed down. It's just basically just trying to really start a basis of design for what could end up with. You could end up with. Okay, and then getting into design development. This is just a further exploration upon schematic design. It's actually starting to make final decisions now. Facade design, building location on site, materials used, style of building, floor plans. This is where the design really gets finalized in the process. The architect has talked to the owner and they've agreed upon design, and really it's just now it's starting to working towards construction documentation. This is the final phase for the architect, really just coming up with construction documents for the construction manager and the building process, to set up technical drawings for the builders to really understand how the building is to be built. And yeah.
Construction bidding. This is the final stage in the construction process. The process starts with the cost estimate from blueprints and material takeoffs. Here, multiple contracts submit bids, or the client directly hires a contractor without getting the competitive bids. Here, mostly the architect's role is to assist the client, answer contractor questions, and provide any additional documentation if required. Owner, architect, and construction manager works together to sort the construction bids and choose who works on the construction of the building.
Project delivery method is about how designers and owners and constructors cooperate. So there are 5 major ways, which is design, bid, build, construction management at risk, multi-prime, and integrated project delivery. For design, bid, build, it is the most traditional way and most cost efficient. And design build is having the contract with one firm during the whole entire process. And then construction management at risk is the project delivery method that owner hires a construction manager and take care of the rest. Next slide, please. And then multi-prime, which is project divided into 3 stages of development: design, engineering, and constructions. The owner compose separate contract with those in charge. And then the last is the integrated project delivery. That is a newer way of cooperation, which is they have 3 of the major parts that share the risks. And the picture under here is from OBO. It shows that majorly they use the design, bid, build, and design, build as their delivery methods.
So here with the main deliverables when planning a strategy are your functional specifications, which are where the formal documents to describe the detail for developers are used, so that way they can to the capabilities, appearance, and interaction with users. You have your master project plan, which is planned by the project manager that mainly focuses on the project scope, cost, schedule, and activity resources. You have your master project schedule, which is, of course, the project plan as well as individual schedules. Just basically gives the overall idea of what needs to be done, when, and how. You also have your risk management status, which gathers all the IT operations information about how risks are changing, which will support decisions and actions made in the next phase. And then finally, you have your milestone review reports, which summarize the observations and findings of project milestones, which is also undertaken as a transition point for the project to ensure quality and make adjustments. So moving on to the next slide, we also have material systems, which most common building materials include steel, wood, concrete, etc. And those are the factors that go into choosing a material system for the project. Structural performance, climate, energy performance, aesthetics, and more go into choosing a material as well. When it comes to building technologies encompasses materials and their applications, physical properties and vulnerabilities, the function, component systems. Some things are site investigations, surveying, as well as the construction materials, building systems, as well as energy supply and efficiency. So there's quite a few things that go into it when it goes further into detail with the building technology.
So how the material systems are applied specifically to Indonesia include an establishment of moving from their already common use of material systems, which for that region specifically includes cement, iron, and ceramics, as well as plastics. But with the move to move the capital to a new city, it creates a new opportunity for more sustainable material systems. So that includes the use of fly ash in combination with cement to reduce emissions, as well as really incorporating their Green Building Council that established a rating system for green building practices, as well as their new building systems meeting at minimum the standard of their current embassy in Jakarta, which is gold certified, which uses a lot of metal systems for shading, integrative land for use of gardens and spaces, but also of mitigation of water, as well as like covered walkways and multiple energy saving features. So the other aim for sustainable architecture moving forward would be, at one point to include biodegradable materials to, again, reduce the impact of building materials. And then here's an example of what the new capital building of capital city would look like. The intent is to have it be a forest city with all design integrated into keeping as much as open green space as possible, and furthermore designed for resiliency, so keeping in mind like future flooding of the island. So all of this will greatly impact the material systems that are used in the future.
And then when it comes to looking at what a embassy would look like, for diplomatic security, they do want something that is rather approachable, but not, and also not too different from its surrounding area. However, because security is such an issue, they still want it to be able to be well protected in that sense. And then given that the capital city is moving, typically embassies are located at the capital city, but there is a problem there because the United States recently completed phase 2 of their embassy in 2019 at Jakarta, and the government is asking the countries that have embassies at the location to move to the new city once it is built. So that would be problematic, but if moved, the current embassy could be transformed into a consulate at Jakarta with the new embassy at the new capital. And then with contextual responsiveness, context is simply an external element that influences the building of the site. Contextual factors include the nature of the surroundings and its natural built elements.